They were born in hunger. Out of a war-torn nation that had lost everything, came one man with a dream to feed millions with just hot water and hope. Today, we eat over 100 billion servings of instant noodles every year. From Tokyo to Lagos, from dorm rooms to disaster zones, this humble cup has become a symbol of comfort, survival, and innovation. But how did something so cheap, so simple, so ordinary conquer the entire world? This is the untold story of war, invention, and the 3-minute miracle that changed humanity forever. Chapter 1. The World That Starved. Japan, 1945. The empire had fallen. Cities lay in ruin. For ordinary people, every day meant scavenging for rice, drying weeds, trading clothes for scraps of food. Among them was Momofuku Ando, a Taiwanese-Japanese businessman. He'd seen poverty up close, people fighting over ration coupons, mothers watering down soup so children could eat. He asked himself a question that would haunt him for years. Why should anyone go hungry if food can be made simple? Ramen stalls were a small spark of normalcy. People stood in freezing lines for hours just to taste a bowl of broth. That small act, eating together, reminded them they were still human. Ando thought, what if ramen could be made instant? A meal that didn't demand time, ingredients, or luxury. Just boiling water and hope. Everyone said it was impossible, but hunger doesn't wait for permission. Chapter 2. The Kitchen That Changed the World. In 1957, Ando turned his small shed into a lab. He had no staff, no investors. He tested noodles day after day. Boil, dry, reboil. Add salt, remove salt, fail. Start again. Each night he would jot down notes, hands covered in starch. One night by accident, he dropped noodles into hot oil. They puffed, crisped, and dried evenly. When he poured hot water over them later, they rehydrated instantly. He froze. This was it, the secret to fast, stable noodles that could travel anywhere. He called it chicken ramen, a packet of convenience that carried the warmth of home. Chapter 3. Feeding a Hungry Nation. In 1958, chicken ramen hit store shelves, but it wasn't cheap. One serving cost 6 times more than fresh noodles. Still, it sold. Because people weren't buying food, they were buying time, safety, and dignity. Factory workers on night shifts, office clerks who barely made rent, students burning midnight oil. Each found comfort in the same yellow packet. Ando hadn't just invented a meal, he'd invented a moment. 3 minutes of certainty in an uncertain world. Japan was rebuilding, and so was its relationship with food. Instant noodles became the taste of progress, the symbol of a nation rising from ashes. Chapter 4. When the world tasted convenience. By the 1960s, Japan's economy was booming, and its people were traveling. Ando's noodles went with them, tucked inside suitcases, shared between friends overseas. At first, foreigners found it odd. Dry noodles you pour water on, but once they tasted it, salty, warm, comforting, they understood. The flavor was universal. It wasn't Japanese anymore. It was human. Then, in 1971, Ando had another breakthrough. During a visit to the US, he noticed people breaking bricks of ramen into paper cups and eating them with forks. He thought, why not make the cup part of the design? That year, he launched Cup Noodles. Light, portable, perfectly stackable. A product born for a globalized world. Within years, factories opened in America, Europe, and Southeast Asia. Instant noodles had transcended borders. They weren't just food, they were a system, a blueprint for feeding the modern age. Chapter 5. A Noodle for Every Nation. Once cup noodles arrived, the world made them its own. In Korea, they became ramyeon, fiery red, built for cold winters and long nights. In Thailand, they soaked up tom yum spice, sour, hot, addictive. In India, Maggi masala became a childhood memory, cooked by millions of mothers and college kids alike. And in Nigeria, Indomie turned into a national obsession, the scent of frying noodles drifting through streets at sunset. Instant noodles adapted to every culture, changing flavor, packaging, even language. One idea, infinite variations. A food that didn't belong to anyone, yet belonged to everyone. Chapter 6. The Hidden Cost of Convenience. But every revolution has a shadow. nutritionists worried about salt and preservatives, environmentalists about waste. Critics said instant noodles made people forget how to cook. And yet, when disaster struck, earthquakes, floods, pandemics, instant noodles were there first. Cheap, fast, storable, safe. They didn't need power grids or refrigeration, just boiling water and a little hope. When the world broke, these noodles held it together. Chapter 7. Hope in a Cup. Before his death in 2007, Ando said, "Peace will come to the world when everyone has enough to eat." He wasn't chasing profit. He was chasing peace through food. From rubble to ramen, from scarcity to abundance, instant noodles tell a story bigger than convenience. They remind us that innovation isn't just about technology. It's about empathy, about feeding someone you'll never meet. A cup of noodles may seem ordinary, but in that steam rises the memory of war, invention, and survival. Proof that hope can fit inside a paper cup. Chapter 8. The Global Legacy. Instant noodles didn't just feed the world. They became woven into it. In prisons across America, ramen replaced cigarettes as currency, a symbol of value, comfort, and control in a world stripped of choice. In space, Japanese astronauts carried cup noodles aboard the shuttle, slurping floating strands as proof that even gravity couldn't stop this food. And on Earth, chefs turned them gourmet. Truffle noodles in Paris, kimchi ramen in Seoul, even Michelin-starred interpretations. What began as an invention for survival became an icon of creativity, proof that food isn't just nourishment, it's a language. And instant noodles? They became the most spoken one of all. Chapter 9. The Future of Fast Food. 60 years after Ando's discovery, the world he imagined is changing again. The planet is heating, populations are growing, and the challenge of feeding billions is returning. But so is innovation. Around the world, food scientists are reimagining instant noodles, biodegradable cups, plant-based broths, zero-waste factories. In Singapore, startups test noodles made from seaweed. In Kenya, entrepreneurs fortify them with local grains to fight malnutrition. And somewhere, a kid, maybe in a small dorm room or a village kitchen, is boiling water, breaking noodles, and unknowingly carrying forward Ando's legacy. Because the story of instant noodles was never just about speed, it was about possibility. The belief that even a small meal can change the world. If this story fed your curiosity, subscribe for more. Because behind every bite, there's a history worth tasting.